There are annotations like dimensions and callouts. There are a bunch of lines. And then there are things called hidden lines, which we've talked about. I really just see this top of this thing, but underneath it, I see that there's some configuration I'd like to see. And from the front, I really just see this surface, but I see that there's stuff inside it on the other side I'd like to see. And then there's information about the drawing itself. Okay? And some of that is just information for people, and some is information for machine tools to read. Okay, what would be read by a machine tool? This actual figure right here. The shape of the part would be made by a mill or a 3D printer or an EDM machine. Okay, there'd be something that makes it, and the machine is going to read your actual physical model dimensions and write some code, and it's going to tell the machine where to go. But then somebody has to be able to check that information and make sure it's right. So people need to be able to check it. So we want these dimensions on there so that we can talk about it. Now, if these dimensions were all in the model, the machine tool would go like this. And then it'd come to this little break here and go, I don't know what to do. It does. I tell you, I've run machine tools, and that was a nice sound. You would not believe the sound of a machine tool freaking out. It's either driving down into the metal or zapping up or going against a stop. And then your boss runs over, the foreman, and starts hitting you with a wrench because you caused oh, it's terrible. So we have to be very careful with these. Another reason why, like sometimes you'll draw a line and you'll accidentally put a line over it. Well, guess what? The machine tool is going to go, and you just wasted a whole bunch of time. So it's very, very, very important that we draw carefully. So anyway, some of this goes, now you could with layers turn it off and tell your machine tool to only read certain layers, but it's much easier just to say, read model space, go do it. Okay? And then it'll read the model. So now we do put hidden lines in the model because that is an easy layer just to say, don't read that layer. So it sounds like we're very careful, but then we go, but putting hidden lines in the model. What you'll really find, though, is that now we make 3D models, and the hidden lines are only in paper space. But I'm going to let you draw these in the model. Likewise, the machine tool doesn't need to know who the company is, or what class we're in, or what the scale is, or what the title is. The machine tool just goes make, and that's it. So all this blue stuff goes in paper space. And those are considered annotations. They go on your piece of paper. Okay? The title block goes on the piece of paper. And I'm going to give you a couple of different title blocks to use, and you can use whichever one you want. And then the model itself is in the place where you've been doing all your drawings so far. And so there's a little process that we go through.